Hello, we are live.
Happy
Welcome to week
Monday.
two. Yes, week two of Counting the Omer. Welcome to the Spring Self-Care Soul Care. We are so happy that you guys are here with us. This is live in our private group, in our spring group, which I think we're at around 16, which is actually a great number. It's been perfect. The coaching has been incredible. I know a couple of you weren't able to join us this last week, so hopefully this week you'll be able to jump in. And so tomorrow night we'll be jumping on our Zoom call and going over this week. We are looking at discipline. And I remember last year, I was not excited about this week. And it honestly ended up being one of my most favorite weeks. It's very cool. And so one of the things I love, and this is what it says in our app, in the Omer app, it says, if love is the bedrock of human expression, discipline is the channel through which we express love. Isn't that interesting?
Ooh, where did you find that?
That is in the app. And I wanted to show you guys in case you didn't know this. This is kind of a cool thing that I didn't figure this out till way into it. So when you open up the app, like for instance, this is this week, right? If you click on the word, it pops up.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you click on the word, and it's Gevura, I think is how you say it. So that's discipline. So imagine that. And we know that's to be true. Like we know that love, when we have love without boundaries, codependency, all those things, it's not healthy love. And so what this is really saying is that discipline is the channel through which we express love. And I remember when Landry was little and we were learning a lot about discipline and about helping her, everything that we did was to correct in love and bring her back into safety, which was the boundary that was set up. And it was really amazing kind of to learn with that and through that, how important that was. When you grow up without boundaries and without those things, it's difficult to put those in. And sorry, I'm going to turn off my and learn how to live that way, because we tend to think that love is that love is pain, or that love is heartbreak, and all the songs tell us that, right? So to really come to aligning our minds with that love is consistency, love has boundaries. That's all, that's when we feel safe, right? That's what love is. It's not about fixing or all of those things. And I love this. It says it gives our life and love direction and focus. Like a laser beam, its potency lies in the focus and concentration of light in one direction, rather than fragmented light beams dispersed in all different directions. Gevura, discipline, and measure concentrates and directs our efforts, our love, in the proper directions. So powerful to think about when I end that word fragmented. We come across that a lot in our coaching and in our working with people as they process through their grief and loss. I fully believe that part of the power of grief recovery is that we're defragmentizing. We're defragging like a computer, right? We get fragmented when we go through life and trauma in order to survive. And part of the process of healing is bringing all these elements together. And that's exactly what this is talking about. It's like, if you think about all these things going in different directions, and that's what this is about, is that safety is bringing it all together. And then lastly, it says another aspect of Gevura, which is discipline, is respect and awe. Healthy love requires respect for the one you love. So it's all of these elements of it, and just trying to grasp all this, right? This is like stuff that we're going to be grasping our whole lives. So it's a level of maturity, of emotional maturity, and understanding that, loving someone isn't, you go through all those stages of understanding, of infatuation, of loving someone because how they look maybe, or how you feel around them, but all these elements that we're bringing all together. Powerful. Right. It's going to be a good week.
Yeah. I love that it just takes it down to the root, right? And
Mm,
it's not a superficial kind of love, but it really digs so deep. And even in today's meditation was so convicting. I don't know if you guys watched the rabbi's video, but he talked about judgment and how, judgment is healthy if you're judging someone because you want them to be their best. But
hmm.
most of the time, we don't judge people because we want them to be their best. We judge people because we want them to agree and align with what we think. Right? There's this
Right.
where the measure, where it's a self-righteous kind of love. And so I was like, whoa. So the meditation today, put on your seatbelt because it's very much really getting to the root of even the question I asked is when we are judging others, it's really revealing something unhealed in us, right? So kind of like what you're saying, there's fragmented pieces that need healing. And so when we do the meditation, that is also kind of like grief recovery where, 15 minutes a day, you're bringing everything in alignment back to mind, body, spirit, soul. And so if you guys have not jumped onto those, please do, because they
Oh, yeah.
really are super helpful in just internalizing and marinating in these deep thoughts of the Omer. And I love it. And I love the discipline part because honestly, if we weren't doing this, we're too busy to dig down this deep. We're too busy to,
True.
focus and meditate. And right, there's this glorification of busyness that happens. So just taking the time. I want to say I'm so proud of all of you that are here that have signed up because this is not easy work, but
Right.
it's so fulfilling because we're so gonna dig deep. And I love, even this week, celebrating Easter, the resurrection, and understanding God's love in such a deeper way. It's just very encouraging and very humbling. So very cool.
It is. It really is. And it is true. You have to be intentional. And I think about that. We're not made to do this life alone. We were designed for connection. And so even if you're an introvert, you're designed for connection. And when you try to do deep work like this, where you're reading through a book maybe, or, on your own, it's, that's all good, but it's nothing like when you really are connected, like on this level with a group or with other people that are digging down. And you learn so much from each other, the whole process. That is why the Zoom calls are so huge. We always talk about how this is your lifeline. And that time of connection, there's so much that happens. I remember in the last call last week on Tuesday night, I remember seeing like different people share certain things, and you see the light bulbs going off. I remember Angela just being like, oh my gosh, this is like, boom, the light bulbs. And it's all that interaction. And so we're just incredibly blessed to be a part of it. And I'm looking so forward to tomorrow night. And remember, there's no shame. There's no, wherever you are at in this process, if you're only able to look at the Omer a couple times a week, that's okay. Just, I wasn't able to really plug in the last 3 days last week. And yesterday morning, I got up early and just really with my journal and sat, and I watched those last 3 meditations of Judy's, and just, I had like, what's so powerful, and just gleaning whatever God is doing with us at this time. There's so much power in this. And remember what you're aligning with. This is what God literally did with the Israelites, right? He was giving them manna. He was giving them the daily bread, literally. And he was showing them who he is. And so there's so much more in store. We are just starting off. We're just kicking, starting the going under the iceberg, under the water of the iceberg. We're just discovering. So it's going to be really, really powerful. And so good morning as people are hopping on. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, it's Christina.
Yeah,
Good morning, Christina.
and if I just want to encourage us that really the root and the heart of God's love for us is for us to be so secure in our identity, in our birthright, right? I love the nobility portion. That was over the weekend. I said in my meditation earlier, I think I'm gonna have to do all week because those weekend ones are so good. Bonding and nobility, right? Those are very, very
Huge.
important ones. But now that I'm doing a lot more coaching and I'm seeing a thread, and I'm coaching these, high performance women right now that are, if you look at them from the outside, they just have everything going for them. But there's a consistent theme and thread of I'm not enough, right? And I think that when we really get to the root of our identity in Christ, that question will be answered. Am I enough? It's like, yes, you are enough because
Right.
I sent my son to die. You know what I mean? Like, just so many of the characteristics and attributes of God, he wants to really drill down into us so that we can walk with confidence and security of who we are. And that is priceless. Guys, people are paying a lot of money for coaching because they don't know how to answer this question of, am I enough? Am I worthy? Do I have value? Right? These are the universal, $1 million questions. And so right now we have this being answered to us through God himself saying, yes, these are all the ways that I'm loving you. And in turn, he's giving us an example of how to love others. And so it's very powerful. So excited. And I also want to share that we do have some surprises coming for all of our challengers, our people in this session. So we're not going to tell you it's going to be a surprise, but just want to put that out there that there are things coming. So
Yes. Keep your eye out in the mail. Yes. Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah. And I think something to keep in mind too, and I know that this hit me last year when we did the Omer, was really seeing how I had viewed God in certain ways that I was wrong about. There's certain things that I believed, about his nature and about his character in that sense, things that I had put on myself that I assumed, and there's a lot of connection of how we view God that's connected to our Father on this earth, our relationship with our dads and a parental relationship. But there was a lot. And I think that's why this week of discipline scared me last year. I was like, I know I'm going to be in trouble. Like, I know I'm going to be dropping the ball. And it was interesting because it was so not about that. And it's just this discovering the heart of God. It's so deep and endless and not, it's like, when we yesterday talking about the grace and what we have received it and the mercy that we don't get what we deserve. And there's so much endless love that honestly, we as people aren't even capable of that level. So it's hard to grasp it. But I believe that that's some of the things that you're going to discover along these next 6 weeks that are left, and discovering depths of God's heart that you assumed maybe when he was mad at you or disappointed in you. And you'll find that that's not even how he thinks ever. It's amazing when you begin to grasp. And I think that goes hand in hand with what Judy was talking about really coming clear with your identity, in knowing that there's that parent or that God that just adores you and is on your side and is always looking out for your best good. Even if he lets you kind of figure things out your own way and have to go the hard way, as some of us have to figure out life on our own, on all the hard ways. And then you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. All right, God, what do you want me to do? I'm ready to hear, listen, and obey. So hopefully that's where we all are, is with a heart to learn and humility and say, I'm ready to receive, what you have for me. And that's what he wants more than anything, is for us to meet him there. So it's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Openness and willingness is all he asks of us. He he does the heavy lifting, right? We say that a lot, and it's how open and willing are we to step into the new, the things that he wants for us. So I'm
Yep.
excited.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So I think
Cool.
this is working out really good too, Judy, that you're doing them at night, and it coincides too with the timing of the calendar, honestly. So that way people can plug in right away when they get up, because we're all on different time zones, and
Yeah.
and some people are early risers and some people are more alert at night. So I think it's really working out really good.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
like
Well,
it.
I'm looking forward to our coaching this week. We had some great coaching last week, and we encourage everyone to really jump in, carve it out in your schedule, make it happen, because they are very powerful. And the people that we have in this group, this session has been such an encouragement. And the new girl, Ashley, is that her name?
Yes,
The young
Ashley.
girl. Oh my gosh, she's spitting
She
out
dropped some
truth bombs.
bombs.
That's right. And that was
That was
great.
awesome. Yes, she dropped some truth bombs. We were all like, perfect way to end the call. It
Yes.
was awesome. So yes, we are very encouraged by each one of you. Remember to be active in the group. We're going to have, the way that Dan's setting this up is each week, this call that Judy and I do on Monday will be pinned. Actually, it's not pinned. It will be in the discussion, but it'll also be in the guide. So every week in the guide, there is a section, right?
Well, it's in
The unit is called guide now, right?
Right. It's confusing because you do a weekly preview, and then you do, apparently you're doing a separate thing talking about the owner. So
Okay, so it's there, and whatever he's made it so that where you can put anything that's coming up for you this week, put it in that thread. Put it in that thread, and we can share about it, and it should all be easy to find, because he's organizing it all in the guide section, which used to be called units, but now it's called guide. So you can find it real easy, because when people post in the discussion, it moves down, So this way, if you're looking for the discussion for the week, look in the guide section and you'll find it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes it easier to, I love it. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. It's awesome. He helps keep us on track and keep it looking organized. So
that's right.
We need that help. So, well, awesome. I think it's going to be a good week. It's definitely, each week builds on on the week before. And as you'll notice, like today is loving kindness and discipline, and all the aspects of each thing what we dig into. So it'll be fun to talk about it all, and we'll let you guys go. Have a beautiful and blessed day and week, and we'll see you all in the coaching calls. Have a beautiful day. Bye.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.